It's working, man.
I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious, I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
Hey, what up? Welcome to the program, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Go Live with Lamont King. I'm Lamont King, and you are now live. Let's go. Good to see y'all, man. First timers, welcome to the program. I see you. Usual suspects, regulars, Peanut Gallery, what up? No individual shout outs. Till you bring somebody, good to see y'all. Something like a podcast. We do this each and every Monday through Friday. Lord willing, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. East Coast time. Yeah. Shout out to everybody watching on the West Coast and worldwide, broadcasting live from the newly remodeled Drunken Fruit Studios inside the Tiny Closet Command Center.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad efficient.
Thank you, Lord Jamal. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get this belch up. It's not coming. Let's see here. Big up to our executive producer, Mr. Clarkson in Studio G down the hall. Make sure all the videos and bonus clips is coming in. And our New York bureau chief, John Watson. All fun and games. Good to see y'all, man. How was your weekend? Everything was cool? Y'all get snow? We got snow. It's still snowing. First snowstorm in 3 years. Ridiculous. Who'd have thought? It went without snow, like one drop of snow for 2 years, and now all of a sudden. So how does that work? How does that affect the global warming argument? Shit changes? Is it still a thing? I don't know. Anyway, no snow in Georgia. Rarely ever is it snow in Georgia. And so there's that. Good to see y'all, man. Really is pleasant, man. I'm gonna tell y'all something about the schedule real quick. First of all, we're up and running only because of people like you. 100% viewer support by viewers like you. You can do that. You can be a part of that. $ Lamont King 06. No, I'm sorry. Oh, that needs to change. That's right. We're doing something different. I thought I had everything. All right. So we're a little bit more universal now. Bigger than me. So here's our new Cash App, starting today, as a matter of fact. Let's Go Live Show. That is the new Cash App. Let's Go Live Show. Let's Go Live Show is the new Cash App. If you want to support the movement, it's a live show. Don't trip. Stuff like that happens. Let me go look at some donors from last week, late last week. We got a regular. I need to we got a recurring donor who's on like he's on a like a program almost. One day of the week, I ain't gonna give his whole move away, but one day a week he gives the same amount every week. Almost like, remember back in the day we used to subscribe to like public radio, and public television, Maryland Public Television, PBS, and PFW, Pacifica. Send your recurring monies on a weekly. Shout out to James Wright. We really appreciate your support. Also, we had a donor today, Roy N. and Lee Ricks from social media. I'm hoping they're going to start checking out the show. Appreciate y'all. And yeah, that was the last one. James Wright, though, like clockwork, every week I can look forward to his donation helping to the building fund. You understand me? And you say, what does that money go to? Well, the technicals, of course, which is easy. Social media, the streaming platforms, not social media, the streaming platforms, Wi-Fi, internet, the platform to put it up, the platform to send it out, all the bells and windows, which allows me to do stuff like this. Oh, you see that? And the phone lines, which, of course, brings me to my next point. Right here, 765 Let's Go One. That's universal. It's worldwide. Let's Go One. That's the phone line. And the lines are wide open all day today. If you want to talk some shit, just call up. Also, we're a live show, so I'm gonna put this in the chat real quick. You also, if you're feeling confident or you're on the move and you want to get with us on video, it's in the chat on YouTube. It's in the YouTube chat. Right now, feel free to just jump this and you'd be like, oh no, I ain't agree with y'all said you had said when you had said. I ain't like that, and you would just want to jump on the show. Let's get it. So there it is. All right. Where do I want to go from here? Oh, I'll tell y'all a little bit later about the schedule. I'm making some adjustments to the schedule. A couple things I want to get to today. We'll talk about the Wendy Williams movie and documentary. I want to talk a little bit about Black History Month. But on a personal, school was closing. Y'all still had class. Yeah, how does that work? So that's a good question. Before I get to on the personal note, for the educators in the chat, do they give snow days in the virtual world? How does that work? Like if it's too much snow accumulate outside, do the schools call off school? Y'all get snow delays? Interesting. All right, so real quick personal story. I thought this was funny. You might want to hear it. You might not. Who cares? So for those of you who have been with me since the summer when we started earlier, you might have remembered that I had a situation with the upstairs neighbor, and we had like the real kind. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to talk about it too often because it was ongoing, and it was it was like a real situation. So anyway, long story short, like the longest story possible, shortened, they moving. So this past weekend, they was moving out, right? So it's to the point where young black dude, unfortunately, I ain't gonna make no assumptions. I don't give nobody surprises me. So I ain't gonna assume where he came from or what his background is. I just know me and him, we had no words. And him more than me told me don't talk to him no more. So that's what he told me. So every time in passing, we had a long walkway to get from our front doors to the parking lot. So every time we come, it's always a moment. You know what I'm saying? It's always that you're too tough because you just as a black man, and if you're not a black man on this watching this video, you cannot relate. But as a black man, it's that line that we walk with other black men as to how do I minimize escalation, but maximize respect and reverence coming the other way. And that's like an ongoing thing, unfortunately, a byproduct of our condition in this country. Something I'm gonna get to later as well. But anyway, so we walk and we get the whole straight face, because if you give too much, then it's a what's up. But if you don't give enough, it's like, oh, you a bitch. So it's like that right in the middle of that stern joint when we coming. So he had a couple of those, but this time it's moving. So he got the crew out there. He got the whole squad, everybody moving. And I know he done told the story, right? So I make it. I'm oblivious. I'm on the phone talking to my mother. This is what makes the story even that much funnier. So I'm oblivious. I ain't tripping on none of that. You're probably more than 10 years younger than me, so I'm not tripping. I get around, go to where I need to go. But right at my front stoop, old timer, old head, a few years older than me, is bringing something out the house, and he got this face. So I'm like, in my head real fast, I'm processing. I'm like, oh, this one of his people's, probably his, uncle or older brother or cousin. I know he done told the story. Playboy trying to size me up, right? So he blocking the whole stairwell with the mini fridge, sets it down, gathers himself, swells. And so I'm walking, but I'm still talking to my mother. All right. So here's where it gets funny. I know you're like, when the funny shit? So we talking about real estate. And on the phone, I'm talking about, this is what I'm saying. This is hilarious to me. I'm talking about renters getting protected by the court system during this eviction moratorium, right? So a lot of people, landlords own properties and they got renters in there, and the renters don't have to leave because they got the eviction freeze, and it's killing landlords. But the renters are protected by the courts, right? So I get to that part of the conversation as I'm walking up on cut, and so I say, this is out loud. So I had just, my mother said something. I'm like, yeah. And then I said something. I said, and they protected by the court, so you can't do nothing to them, right? So I get right here, and he hit me with this joint, and then I spoke because I wasn't tripping. I hadn't processed that this was one of homeboy man's or whatever. So I was like, what's up with you, cuz? And so he was like, what's up? So as I walk past him up the stairs, as he picking the fridge up to keep it moving, I say it again because I was talking to my mother. I was like, yeah, man, when you the courts protect them, so you really can't touch them. And so I walk up the stairs and I get the crib, and I was like, oh, that sounded like some gangster shit. Like, it was inadvertent. That was completely way not even the topic. I said, I know he heard that and was probably like, oh shit, okay. All right, okay. Cuz might be about that life. You know what I'm saying? and I had the stern face too, because it was a serious conversation on the phone. I said, yeah, man, because the courts can't even, the courts is protecting them. So you really can't touch them. You can't get at them. You know what I'm saying? It was super thorough. True story, 100%, start to finish. I got witnesses, but I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway. Keep it moving. 765. Let's go on. Y'all want to talk about the Wendy Williams movie thing? And I want to talk about it. So I saw a post today online. I may save this too, because I was thinking about getting. I saw Olivia Fox, former coworker. She wrote a real in-depth piece on the Wendy Williams, whatchamacallit, because she went to school with her and used to work with her. And she used to I remember back when we were on the radio in the early 2000s, she used to always talk about it. Like that was, her competitor, her peer, colleague, all that. So she used to tell us the story. So when I seen the movie, I was like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I was gonna get Olivia Fox on here. So I may still do that, but I want to talk about the movie. It was caught myself fresh off the salt and pepper situation. They set me up, because I had no intention of watching it, but I wanted to finish the Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper came on, and then they were like, tonight is the premiere of Wendy Williams, the movie. And then the documentary immediately followed, Wendy Williams, What a Mess. And so I was like, all right. And I knew the snow was happening. I was like, I ain't doing shit. I ain't gonna go nowhere. So I had to watch it. So a couple things. Surface rap. Let me give you some surface rap. Casting wise, we were roasting Lifetime all last week for Salt and Pepper. And for the other infractions. Casting wise, Probably the best. Now I know Salt and Pepper had their hand in their movie, but Wendy Williams did this one, and she had her hand and feet and tailbone and all that up in the movie. You could tell. You just like, I want it done the way I want it done. I want to pick who the people. Like you could tell by casting that she was involved. So the lead, I don't know her name. I ain't doing no research. Dead ringer, voice, quirks, mannerisms, facial expressions, features, build. She had it. And it was off the rip when I seen it, I was like, oh, okay, I might have to get us a little, because that casting to do it. That casting to really turn your ass off. So I seen that and I was like, okay, all right. And then the way she really went into it was kind of clever and original. So yeah. So from a surface, the casting A1 up front. You could now. I say that with a grain of salt, right? Because people that she wanted to really kind of shit on, I guess, she did them dirty. She did it. Like if you in charge of casting and you want really kind of like how they did Martin Lawrence, like they did Martin Lawrence dirty in Salt and Pepper. I feel like Wendy did Kathy Hughes way dirty. Where you just, and what I mean by that is I'm being facetious. You look at it, you be like, no, they didn't, right? You know what I'm saying? But her dude, her ex-husband, Kevin, all the way. I thought it was the real dude. Tracy Clardy, Hot 97, Vinnie Brown. Like these are people I knew from, working in radio at that time and having back and forth to New York. I was like, oh, okay. I think I might have dozed off. I was waiting the entire movie for Charlemagne. I missed Charlemagne, and I see on social media who they said who he was. So I remember seeing the scene, but not dialing in. And I was like, oh, she did him dirty. She did Charlemagne dirty. But Kevin might as well have been the real dude. And sidebar, the Kevin dude that played Kevin, he looked like Suge Knight. And I'm like, he would have been a better Suge Knight in most of the Suge Knight movies that's been out, including Straight Outta Compton. Like he had it. He was Suge-esque. All right, just then let's bring in John Watson from All Fun and Games. Welcome to the program. What's good with you?
What up, Champ? My audio good? My audio good? I'm just
you good to go. I imagine you wanted to get in on this.
Yeah. Because I watched it off of you. So you was going.
Oh, that's right. You watched it the day later, right?
You was going a little social media crazy on the joint. So I was like, okay, it must be good because you can give him blow by blow.
I was what do you call it? Live tweeting. I ain't done that in a long time.
Pretty much.
Long time. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. I didn't think it was like you know how so Salt and Pepper you watch because it was kind of a train wreck. You know what I'm saying? And you just watched it to see how terrible it was, and like
you were hoping for it. I was
right.
Hoping for it. Yeah.
So with this, it was so much, and you like you said, Wendy, she damn near she might as well just played herself. Like Howard Stern played himself in Private Parts because it was like I'm gonna tell my side.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you my perspective of everything, and that's all y'all gonna get.
Yeah.
So it was like, she was smelling like roses, damn near the whole movie, because you never know that, she so much as called anyone else a bad name, and it didn't come off.
No, I didn't get that. This is me. This is why me. I shat on everybody. And then this is how it was.
No. Yeah. I mean, we get that part, but like, like she never did anything that was like, some sort of malicious act, or it was all I had heard. The word on the street is that was her public shtick, so that can't be hidden. So she portrayed that part, but like you would never know that she ever did anything wrong in her entire life.
I don't know she really dialed into. I mean, I did cocaine 5 days a week for like 7 years.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
Yeah, what do you mean?
And they dusted it off like that. It was like, that was the 80s. Don't even worry about it.
She spent a considerable amount of time on that though.
What's she doing cocaine in the last 20 years?
I'm sure.
That wasn't on the movie.
Look, because in a movie it's 2 hours. You set the tone, you lay down precedents, and then the rest the viewer is supposed to imply. And I think that was fair. You don't get that in a lot of stories. Now, to the drug use, she talked about doing everything, and they even showed her hitting the pipe.
Yeah, I give her credit for that. I'm just saying, like, you know, it. Like, so for example,
she's definitely on coke now. She's definitely on coke now because I'm gonna get to that. The documentary, she was high as fuck in that documentary.
Okay, so like with Eric B, like
she got played. She's vulnerable and transparent enough to tell you that this man played her. He played the shit out of her.
But is that how the story went though?
Who knows? She did.
That's what I'm saying. Salt and Pepper, they had Salt and Pepper's perspective, and you know whatever. But it's only Wendy's perspective. So, was that Eric B story embellished? We don't know, like because they didn't.
But but you saying it like it made him look bad and it was unfair. I don't think
it didn't make Eric B look bad for getting a rental car that was about to destroy her or did destroy her credit.
I think it made her come off like a duck. And I think she owned up to being a duck at that time.
I mean, I'm with it. Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I feel like she didn't like. You can get some biopics that's be like what's one where they just look great throughout, and you're just like, this is not even believable. Like they're just a superhero throughout. She didn't really paint that picture. She didn't really paint that picture.
My other questioning was why they couldn't, like, they the old girl that played Wendy was like 2021 face Wendy. Like, why they couldn't prosthetic her up a little bit to look like 1995 Wendy, because they made the same Wendy's.
Yeah, and then switch it up halfway.
Right. Like, they could have used the same actors. I mean, I don't know what the budget was, but they could have done a little prosthesis to round her face out a tad and make her look like what she actually looked like back then. They started her out like
the current,
current Wendy. I was like, nah, fam, that ain't that ain't what Wendy looked like.
That's a tough call because I don't think she's admitted to lipo, she's admitted to boobs. I don't think she's admitted to that face. I don't think she talks about the face. I don't follow her enough.
I'm not frozen. I'm just
right. Because I thought you were.
No, I don't. We are no, man.
But to that point though, when people had that or whatever it's called, that dysmorphia or whatever, and they start getting that face work, man, they don't be copping to that, man. Because Lil' Kim will tell you right now, she's just more mature.
What do you mean?
She grew up.
What do you mean?
The cat joint.
Right.
The stretch the cat joint. That's
right.
Like that's a thing. And a lot of them don't admit to it. So I don't know.
Okay. Maybe that's just how she sees herself.
Yeah. Why would you put that in a movie if you've never publicly?
But she wasn't even that, like, not to say that, like,
wasn't bad at all.
But not to say she was fat, but she wasn't that skinny back then either. Like, she wasn't. Was she skinny like that back? She wasn't skinny like that back in the day.
No. She's always had, dealt with her weight, but that came from childhood. So that she showed that trauma early on.
Right. But I'm saying that, I'm not saying she was fat, right? In her, let's say her, early.
Allegedly, I gotta say allegedly to all of this. Yeah.
Right. But like the DC days leading up to when she first got a spot in New York and all that. Like, I remember, like, because, I'm from New York. So, like, I remember seeing her, like, when you finally saw, because, like, you remember back in the days, you didn't know what your DJs looked like. Right. You didn't know what your radio personalities looked like. Right. You finally saw them, you're like, oh, snap, that's what they look like. And then when you saw, it's like, oh, okay, she was like I don't know, let's say a thick chick or whatever. She wasn't fat, a little bit more round in the face, body was fuller.
Yeah.
But she wasn't that skinny girl.
No.
That they portrayed her, in those 80s and early 90s. She wasn't that.
Nah, she wasn't that.
So, and that's what I mean by giving herself the nod.
It's really hard, man. When you frame it, all that time travel, man, that shit is hard, man.
Okay.
It's hard when you put that together, when you're putting it all together and you're trying to give forth the best way to tell the story. It's kind of like if they ever did one on Luther, which one are they gonna do?
I don't know. Like, that's what I was thinking. The same thing. I was like, if they ever did one on Oprah,
which
one are they gonna do? But
because from year to year there was fluctuation.
Yeah, you gotta have that budget for that. You know what I mean? You gotta call Eddie Murphy's guy.
No, right.
You gotta call Ted Baker.
Baker, right.
Get him to slap them pounds on real quick and then pull them off.
But that can be a distraction too. This is how they may see it. I'm not saying this is what it is, but if you going in and out of that instead of establishing one time I was big and then there was times when I was little, now here's the story. You know what I'm saying? They want to pull you into the story and
that's a one-liner before the commercial. And and throughout my life, I've always battled with weight challenges. And then you just see it as it happens. They put years in front of every other
scene. Right.
Year it was. But
the casting though, when they did first of all, Eric B looked like Eric B. Back then. Total. I thought it was the real joint. I thought it was the real joint.
I was about to say, did they get Total right? Did they get Total right?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's big of them to agree to play themselves. Yeah.
How you think the looks wise? You said Kathy Hughes. You didn't like the character portrayal, so they did her dirty. But looks wise, how you think they did?
I mean, back then, to be honest, I don't know what she looked like back then. I just thought it was funny because I worked for her and was around her, and it was
accurate or not?
Looks?
No, portrayal.
Not to me. I came in a different era, I guess.
Okay.
In a different. She was a different person.
You came in a kinder, gentler era.
Kinder, gentler.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. See, that's another one. Everybody loves Miss H.
So
when you see that version from somebody else's perspective, I was like, oh, she did her dirty. But I don't know Miss H like that. I know the super nice, blah blah blah, groundbreaker, trailblazer.
I thought the Charlemagne one was hilarious.
I missed that.
It was. You didn't miss much.
Yeah. So I was
one scene and he had like one line.
I was going in and out of sleep, and I didn't realize that was who that was supposed to be. Until somebody said it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, dang!"
Yeah, like Skeletor got more love.
So you from that time? I thought Skeletor was supposed to be Charlemagne. I didn't know Skeletor was a real person.
See, I'm pretty sure Skeletor was definitely before Charlemagne.
So that's a real person.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Skeletor
was him love. Then she gave him. He was.
Skele. Like that was her. Her right. That was her. You know what I'm saying? Her.
Co-producer. Yeah.
Co-producer / on-air personality, sidekick, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Before Charlemagne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Charlemagne, like. So put it like this: by the time I left and moved from New York, then Charlemagne came into the picture. So you're talking about maybe early 2000s or whatever.
I thought he was with her in Philly. That's when I remember.
Now, wherever it could have been.
Yeah.
I left New York. Let's say I left New York in '96 for school. So, but either way, like I didn't know who Charlemagne was until they got that TV show.
Oh, the Breakfast.
I didn't know Charlemagne from the radio.
Okay.
Like when they started televising like bits of her show, on whatever it was, VH1 or whatever it was. That's how I knew who Charlemagne was.
I ain't gonna lie. When I knew of him, and it was from radio stuff, and then I saw him on the Breakfast Club, I was like, oh, that's Charlemagne. Oh, okay. I wouldn't expected that. I thought Charlemagne would have been something else.
Yeah, no, he was like he was like Charlemagne the God or some.
Yeah.
Like, it was, but I only knew him from Wendy Williams, but the televised version of her show. But Skeletor, like when they said that name, I was like, damn, well, they took it back. I was like, I remember that dude from like way back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I didn't realize she was in WOL in DC. I had no clue.
Oh, see, that one I didn't know either. Yeah,
I saw a post today on Olivia Fox's post that I was speaking of, where there was one lady, I forgot her name. She was like, yo, I was there. I was on air at WOL back then. Had no clue until watching the movie that it was Wendy Williams. That
she was there, or
that was her. She was in DC under a different name.
Yeah, but I bet you she was like, she wasn't dressed like how she was dressed in the movie.
Yeah,
she probably dressed all low-key like
the lady is saying, I didn't know that was you that I work with until you said it in the movie.
Oh wow.
30 years ago. Yeah. 35 years ago. I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah. But overall it was good. Now, the documentary at the end.
See, I didn't see that.
You didn't miss nothing.
Okay.
It made the movie bad.
Oh, really?
She could have left at the end of the movie and you'd have been, oh man, that was a great story. She did this little documentary thing. Man, I swear she's popping pills or doing cocaine, allegedly.
She got the fast talking?
No, she was
all over the place.
And she's sitting at the crib and Kevin. I said, no, it ain't missing, but he's not missing anything because I'm a boss. It's Kevin. I mean, it
had highs, it had lows.
Yeah, I was like, what is this even for? And it went further in and talked to her about, Mr. C and and her parents or whatever. It was just totally, it was absolutely useless. It's like, you ever watch like bonus footage on the DVD and be like, why did they even?
Yeah.
Why did I even put this on?
You know, I'm telling you, it's because if that movie to me was a perfect way to illustrate someone who has enough power and enough media clout to tell my story the way I want to tell it, solely for the purposes of shitting on whoever I feel like shitting on. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the husband, Kevin, she has no, relatively no good words for him. You know what I'm saying? If you hear any piece of an interview. And, like, she was like, oh, in case y'all in, I'm going to make a whole movie about essentially how you was cheating on me. I rose to power anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Got there with some of your help, but still continue to do what I do despite you. And let me make a whole movie about it, and where you have no input and you can't give your perspective.
One part that threw me off though, and I'm gonna leave it on this. When she passed out on TV, they did that kind of early, right? And offered. They did the reenactment in the movie. Offered no explanation.
Why?
No.
Wait. I'm trying to think. Did they?
I must have missed it.
Did it somewhere? No, it didn't have to do.
I guess it was like kind of tied into working long hours.
Maybe that was it, because I was going to say maybe it wasn't to do with the pregnancies, because that was way at the
right. I was
like, no, they really didn't.
I was like, how y'all going to just
I think it was the stress. Was it stress because he's cheating on me and like being cheated on, and because everything about the movie was being cheated on and done dirty, so it must have been something to do with that.
Yeah, because
the next move was him saying, you need to get in rehab and blah blah blah. You're doing too much drinking and so on, because that's what it was. I knew if I thought about it longer, because she was drinking. This is her telling the story. She was drinking so much because she was waiting up for him and didn't know where he was at every night, and it was fatiguing her.
That ain't that.
But that's what that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what that lady did.
That ain't that. It's many things that was, and that wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
But I thought they had to include that because it was so recent.
What Rick James say?
What?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I don't even think it's cocaine, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, man. But I appreciate you. Glad you tuned in and checked it out, and it was decent. It should have been called the Kevin Hunter experience.
Shit, right? Kevin Hunter ain't shit.
Yeah,
One day I'm gonna make a movie about all the people that did me wrong, man.
You should. You should start on it now.
Yeah, the big payback.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie, but it's gonna be called a big payback.
All right, there it is. John Watson from Fridays All Fun and Games.
All right, bro.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man, I thought it was a pretty good. It was a pretty good movie for Lifetime. They're pretty good. If you got a different opinion, I put the video link in the chat to jump on, and the phone lines on the screen. All right, let's talk about it, man. Black History Month. My thoughts, man. Black History Month is over. It's done. For dead. Needs to be anyway. I was watching some stuff take place on social media, on Twitter this weekend, man, and some people was gearing up. I'm telling you, man, Twitter and all of that, the most polarizing place in the universe. Amazing. And what's up with this cord? Dragging my microphone.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad efficient.
I appreciate you. I ain't hit that button on purpose. So anyway, polarizing. Half the people was like amped up and geared and ready for Black History Month. The other half of the people is like, yo, Black History Month's dead, man. If I see one of y'all celebrating it, I'm gonna flip. And it got me to thinking, man, I think since we discovered racism last May in America, I think we need to, take a look at some things we consider normal and then see if they need to be updated, if you need to be retrained, like at your job every 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Get a new certification, update the software. Black History Month, man. the relevance. We've argued years and years about the relevance. Is it important? It absolutely, Black history itself is absolutely important. But as John Watson would say, Black history is every day. Black history is American history. The joke has always been, how you going to relegate our history to the shortest month of the year? All right, let's take all that aside, take it off the table. That's all the shit we already know and we've already heard. I want to present to y'all a new argument as to why, a new case as to why I think it's over or should be. I feel like after what we've seen over the last 10 months, that collectively we have amassed enough clout. We have witnessed, enough of our individual efforts and seen our impact, witnessed our influence real time firsthand. We've always heard the whole, we get $1 trillion in buying power. This goes used to the Black community. Black people drive culture. Black people do this. Black people are the standard, blah, blah, blah. TikTok, social media, crazes. We move culture, right? So when you come down to February and then you get to all this placating and pandering, I feel like it's kind of jumped the shark, if you will. Whereas all right, think about this so you can see where I'm going. Think about June, July, August, right? Remember the environment, the atmosphere? You remember how it's all Black everything? You got the Blackout Tuesday. You got this person giving $12 million to HBCUs. This company coming out and said, we should, as a company, we want to apologize for how America has treated you, and we want to offer you a discount. You know what I'm saying? We want to donate to the United Negro College Fund. Don't nobody even pull from the UNCF no more, but we're going to donate it anyway. We saw all of that. Netflix programming. Your algorithms have suggested that here's the Black programming that you like this week. All of that. Google, at the beginning, everything was blickety Black, right? On a continual basis. Now you could look at it because you were unfamiliar with it, right? You could look at it and say, y'all just pandering, or you just doing that for the moment. But imagine if you were used to that and it was ongoing and it seemed normal. I think it would have a bigger impact as far as parity is concerned, as opposed to waiting for a month of the year to study Blackness, to appreciate, recognize, and acknowledge Blackness. So if things were the way they were all summer, because you had the ruling class, economic ruling class, on their heels, like, I don't know what y'all gonna do next. Y'all might boycott me and drive me out of business. So I'm gonna give you your roses now. I'm gonna publicly appreciate you. I'm gonna publicly recognize and acknowledge for no other reason other than because I've always known this stuff. Because we studied your history, even when we didn't let you study yours. This is them speaking. I've always known this stuff. I'm going to say it now publicly because I don't want to be on the wrong side of history. My question is, what if we were able to exercise that same clout, that same influence, that same impact year round? You wouldn't have to slow down and do it in February because it would be happening the entire time. Then it will be a part of your norm. Then your kids won't come to you and be like, who is what is this? Who is Cicely Tyson? What does she do? Well, because every February you get Rosa, you get Martin, you get Frederick, you get Thurgood. You know what I mean? But if it was a year round, here's what your adversary is doing year round. I don't know what type of shit these niggas is on, so let's just do everything we need to do to keep things on the up and up. What if it was like that year round? So that your influence and your clout as a collective was not relegated to a pin on the calendar where I have to do it. What if it was normalized and kind of seamlessly woven throughout the fabric of what you do the rest of the time of the year? You know what I mean? Like, so let me give you one. I would even, and I'm not looking at y'all, so I'm not to the comments yet, but feel free to call or hit the video link to debate. I would even be fine with taking it back to its point of origin, Negro History Week. Why? Because when you condense it down to a week, it's more festive. It's like the run up to Super Bowl or All-Star Week. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, we playing it all 8 months out of the year. Football, we playing it 6 months out of the year. It's ongoing, but that week is festive. Black History Month, the way it is now, they'll talk shit the entire rest of the year. People that hate you, Congress people, these heritage people, and then in the month we honor the contributions of Black Americans. And let's matter of fact, let me pull up one. This one I saw this today. Oh my God, slap in the face. This kind of drives my point. Where, you know, when you do the whole Black History Month, that's for people who could care less about you or your history the entire rest of the year, but then they placate you for that month. Fake like they did some research and learn your history when it's really American history. So I feel like in some regard, take that away. You know how we said we took the power out of nigger, so now we can say nigger because it don't really mean nigger. We took the power out of it. Take the power out of Black History Month. Force using our clout. Force them to deal with us the same way we got dealt with June, July, and August of last year. That's where I'm at with it. All right, let's see. I don't know what y'all talking about, but I'm gonna play this. Start some shit. Out of all the people to kick off the month with. Now, I was in a mind frame where I was like, I don't want to even do no historical tidbits for Black History Month because it's like a slap in the face. It goes against what the point I'm trying to make. And sure enough, I had these thoughts earlier, talking about our opponents, our adversaries, and how they act and how they treat us, and the patronizing and the pandering, and who among you would have thought that you'd have woke up on February 1st, the first day of Black History Month, 2021. This is how you know 2020 ain't over. Who among you would have thought that the first voice you would have heard speaking on Black history was this Bama here? What in all of the hee-haw hell? Who put this together? All right, let's listen. I didn't even watch the whole thing. Let's listen.
Hi, everyone. This is Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Today marks the first day of Black History Month. For the next 27 days, we take time to remember and celebrate the contributions Black Americans have made to our nation. Now, the road hasn't always been easy, but over the course of our country's history, there are countless examples of Black men and women whose talents, contributions, and determination have altered the fabric of our nation and put us on a path toward building a more perfect union. I know that I would not be here in this office, serving as the first Black Attorney General of the Commonwealth and the first Black Kentuckian independently elected to statewide office, if not for the giants whose shoulders I stand upon. So today, and for the entire month of February, take time to learn about the countless contributions of Black Americans who have made the Commonwealth and this country what it is today. Thank you, and God bless.
Even your signature is ugly. Hey, how though? Who put him up to that? You're not even authentic in your reading, fam. Like that, you are an absolute joke of a person. Joke of 2020, buffoon, coon, raccoon. And this is what you do. Like you don't even, and I can't even, I could come up with, I can roast him ad nauseum to infinity. It wouldn't do anything because that wouldn't hurt his feelings. Like he don't believe none of that shit he was saying. He not, you know, the unfortunate part about it is he not making Black people look bad because he don't identify, he don't associate with. Unbelievable. All right, let's go down the hall to Studio G. Welcome in, Mr. Clarkson. Welcome to the program. yeah. That's really all you can that's really all you can do.
Bro, you know this is hurting my soul, but I understand why the reason why he did what he did. And so do you. You're too smart.
Sure.
In the words of all great history teachers, especially my father, the answers to most questions is money.
Mm.
He knows that the way that things have shifted, he's on the outside looking in, and he's got to find a way to go find some votes. And this is his way of saying, hey, black community, just remember, I'm also black. But the black community is like, yeah, but also do remember Breonna Taylor too. And that's the conflict. Like, that's the conflict in all of this, like, niggerdom that he just did. Some high class niggerdom.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, what team is he working with? Who would say, all right, this is the right move to kick it off with? Who's doing that?
Oh, Mitch McConnell, his daddy.
But if he's trying to improve with black people,
sure.
Who on that team is like, oh no, this is it. This is the one. This will get him.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell, his daddy. Because eventually what it boils down to is, how am I able to keep a job? That's really what this whole move is how do I keep a job? Because I bet you this much, if you walked up to him and said, do you ever thank PBS Pinchback for his sacrifice? I think he'd be absolutely clueless. I know he would be clueless. And that to me is like the shame of it all. Now, mind you, the current vice president has spoke ad nauseum about who PBS Pinchback is. But that's also, I feel like, the difference of understanding how you got there versus I'm there and F everybody else that looks like me and person of color.
What is that, the first black attorney general? State attorney general?
Pinchback was the first elected official, and he was the first governor. Shout out Dillard University, but he was the first black governor. Of course, the sad thing about it is the next black governor did not come into damn near like the 80s in the state of Virginia. But PBS Pinchback was the first elected governor. It really helped to heal. And Louisiana was in a surplus thanks to him being in office. So he understood, I'm going to be the first one. I better be really good at it.
Yeah, and even in a speech like this, he was like, stood on the backs of their shoulders, edit, and then it went to something else. Like you can't even name two. You can't even name two. On who, fam? On who? Whose shoulders?
Right. What kills me about him, you're in Louisville. You are a University of Louisville graduate. You're a member of a D9 organization, and this is what you do to black women. Like, this is what you do to black women. Like, the same black women that fed you, made sure that you was good. This is what you do. Yo, that's to me why I was like, man, shut the hell up, bro. Like, this ain't nobody got time for all this, man. Yeah. But to go back to your point about, is Black History Month dead? I don't think it is, because it's still ignored in many educational forms. Like, in all honesty, if I was teaching a class and I taught about Juneteenth, I told you about this previously, and I think I mentioned before to you when we were talking, that if I was getting evaluated, that I would receive nothing but low marks, even if all of my information was factual, because I'm teaching something that's not aligned to DC curriculum.
No, that's completely understood. So
here we go.
Yeah, completely understood. So my point being, force that hand.
Okay.
Force that hand where program change has to happen. Because we're lulled to sleep by Black History Month. Like, it's here. It's, hey, you got what you wanted. You got Rosa Parks, Thurgood, and Freddie Doug. You know what I mean? Like, and stick to that. We don't want to do too much. What we saw last summer was, hey man, you're not gonna stop me from talking about nothing.
Sure.
That was the energy. That's the energy nationwide.
Right.
Like, hey man, and y'all ain't gonna keep ignoring so and so, such and such. Who ignoring who? Who do we ignore? And then the next week it's a special on Denmark Vesey. It's a whole live television Denmark Vesey on ice. You know what I'm saying? Who else?
Right.
Have we been ignoring? And y'all not gonna keep ignoring Phyllis Wheatley next week. The Phyllis Wheatley Foundation presents Phyllis Wheatley, the live at home event. You know what I'm saying?
Phyllis Wheatley on ice.
Yeah, right. So I'm like, so that energy, imagine if they were just operating on that energy. And so they were on their heels and they had to always move in that direction, not here and not here.
Right.
Because they're like, all right, well, what else can we do? We're like, what else can you do? All right, let me think about it. You mean take this list? You know what I'm saying?
So like for me in my classroom, I push all into the danger zone. I talk about all the things that make everybody feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
i.e., Black Panther Party, and of course, them being responsible for early education, and the fact that if you see Braille in an elevator, you see Braille on an ATM, you see a ramp in front of any federal building, thank the Black Panthers. What? Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how, without them, there are no 504 IEPs for how children are educated. That's what I do. I think that that's where the push has to come for us as Black folks, is that I love Martin, Rosa, Mouth, love them. But I think we have to push the narratives more of, we're going to talk about the people who really don't get no shine at all, and who are really responsible for like just everyday things that you look at and go, there's a Black person that was there.
That's my point. So when you talk about Black inventors, right, you're not talking about radical, revolutionaries. Let's say if the framework was just throughout the year, we're just going to educate our school age population,
right?
The inventors of the everyday things around their house. 80% of them are Black.
Correct.
And what I'm saying is, you can really, if it was a collective effort by changing the framework and being like, okay, we're doing this, in the spring, we're doing our inventor series. You don't even have to title it Black. You can just be like, frame it. We're working on, we got a whole curriculum around our inventor series. 8 out of 10 of them is going to be Black. And which, if we change our approach, putting Black history in its proper context of American history,
right?
I think it could be done.
I think it should be done.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I think we need to lose the separation. We need to strike Black History Month and get rid of it.
So I'm gonna take your point of view and alter it just a bit. I think we have to force the inclusion more in how curriculums are written. So for me,
yes,
I think that what you're saying is right, but I think it's a force of inclusion. Like, stop talking about Martin for a second. We've heard that soundtrack before. Let's really do a strong series about the Black women who have went out their way, that were the real hands behind the civil rights movement. Let's talk about Fannie Lou Hamer in depth and talk about why we don't have a lot of footage of her, because she was a heavier set Black and considered to not be as glamorous. Let's talk about how Claudette Colvin sacrificed her education, and how, because she got pregnant, they shipped her off to a whole nother state. Even to the fact of last week, I did something with my kids, and I was like, hey man, everybody's at home. We're going to do this Zoom scavenger hunt. I need you to find 4 things in your house that you couldn't live with without Blacks. Go.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was great, because this one kid was like, I ain't going to put my refrigerator up in here, but I got the refrigerator, Frederick Jones, Dr. Freeze. I was like, good stuff. Yes, food would not be cold without a Black man. Who else? A remote control. Good. Let's go. And I think by doing that, what it does is that it shows that it's not Black history and American history. It's just history, like you said.
Yeah. Because just imagine if it was an all-white school district and there was a test on these inventions, right? Who invented this?
Right.
Not what Black person invented it. And imagine if it was 10 inventions that Black inventors. And in this all-white school district, one of the tests, some part of the year, part of their grade level, was top 10 inventions, and they were all Black. By them participating in that exercise, they've had to memorize the names of 10 Black people.
I agree.
When would they have ever done that at any other time outside of February? That's the point I'm trying to make. We could just manipulate it and turn it on its head using our clout. We could do away with that and the February thing and make it a thing where you're not even realizing you studying Black history, Black inventors, Black facts, Black information, the same way we have to study American history. And we know Thomas Patrick Henry and Thomas Jefferson and give me liberty, give me all these people that we know for no reason.
Right.
It could happen the same way.
I agree. I think the biggest, and I agree with everything that you're saying, the biggest mistake that Black folks have fallen for is believing that America America is a melting pot.
Mm.
Like, we got to stop that. Cultures don't melt. And we've devalued our culture by trying to melt into something, where more so than anything, America is a gumbo. It's a seasoning. It's a variation of all these various things that make or are trying to make this country great. Let me say, because it's not great. But I think that that's where, as Black folks, I agree with everything you're saying, is that we have better strength, but we don't melt ourselves down. Don't melt down Malcolm X. Malcolm X was angry. Don't melt down Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was angry. You know, like, stop trying to melt. Oh, you know, he was peaceful.
Yeah.
And, no, fam. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, no, that's real. And then so that's, you know, that's just where I'm at with it. I feel like we could do away with it. I feel like I could go without any of these whatever's about to happen over the next 28 days. I really do. On TV, on the Google landing page, I feel like I can go without.
So you don't feel comfortable buying a Black History shirt at Target yet, because you know they're there.
And I saw that. Now, kudos to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a corporation, they've probably been waiting all summer, because that section, I've seen the section.
Mm-hmm.
That section is hard.
Oh yeah.
Is very craftfully done. It's not, you know, it's not the usual disingenuous BS. Like, there's some, they done got some vendors in there that's, you know, for the culture. And I feel that, where I can go to this mainstream outlet and get these unique cultural, you know, artifacts. I'm with that. I'm saying, let that shit sit in there the whole year.
I agree.
When I feel like wearing some super blackity black shit on May 8th, I go in there and see the joint just the same way I go to a black-owned boutique or a black-owned shop. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna get that. Not just February. That's dumb to me, especially after the summer we just had.
Yeah, because it's gonna be seasonal. Because I know that whole section's gonna probably disappear. It's gonna be St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
But then when Pride Month comes, it's gonna be the Pride Month section, and it's just
to your point, Pride, they got the month, what, June?
Yes.
But damn if it's not acknowledged and celebrated all year round. That's
my push is this. The fact that there's a Pride Month is once again due to an African American. That part. that part again. But I love the fact that they got the Malcolm shirt with him leaning outside the door with the one time.
Yeah, yeah.
Target for real? Y'all cool with this?
Yeah, because they're listening. They're listening. They brought somebody in the room and was like, what would you wear? Oh, me? Y'all let me have it? Okay, let me design it. I would, you know, the one where we coming out the car and they got the Russian hat on, and that's the one I would. And they like, all right, let's green light that. You know what I'm saying? They're listening. And that's because of the influence and the impact and the clout from where society was last year.
Right.
And I'm like, we need to use that year round. So it's there. It's tangible. Right. It's in the atmosphere all year.
Yeah. Bunch of controversial shirts. I mean, the fact they had the Nina Simone, which, you know, Nina Simone's mad controversial. The Malcolm X, they're trending the right way. But I hope that they are. I think it's going to take time, sadly, for them to be brave enough to keep it there year round. You got to have some bravery. Someone's going to have to stand on some morals and say this is where it belongs. So we'll see how that happens.
We'll see how that happens. There it is, Mr. Clarkson from Studio G.
Save time for rolling.
Save time for rolling. Let's see if we can do it. Appreciate you. You need to put together that charter school curriculum, fam. Or not even. That public school curriculum. And sell it to school districts. All right, there it is. All right, real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all, man. This has been fun. The year is starting off real strong, man. Appreciate everybody to support the show. You can get in on it too. Cash App, the new name, easy to remember. Some people was forgetting my name and all of that. So maybe with this one, everything's all in line. The phone number is 765 Let's Go 1. The Cash App is Let's Go Live Show. Let's Go Live Show for the we're building something here. You know, for the greater cause. Hit the like button on the way out at the top of this video while it's playing. Subscribe to my Facebook fan page. Turn the notifications on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're on Twitter, the same deal. Hit the bell, you know what I mean? So that we can get it popping and you can, every time we do something, because I'm going to be going live at other times of the day. We're going to be doing podcasts that'll be running, ongoing. We are on Apple iTunes right now. Yeah, wherever you get your podcast, let's go live. Subscribe to the show. Now, our daily schedule will be adjusting. I've had some things land on the calendar for the next few weeks on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So the show is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 to 7. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you get Monday, you get Wednesday, you get all fun and games on Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, something has landed on the calendar that has been double booked. We're double booked. So we're making an adjustment. It's not going to last long. It's not indefinite. It's just temporary. But the show, the new times, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. to 7. Still the same, still live, something like a podcast, unlike anything else you could be watching at this time. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. to 7. Phone line's going to be live. You can still call after hours, leave a message. You can still email. You can still support the show. We're doing some new and different things this week. And keep continuing to bring you interesting people, celebrity guests, hilarious commentary, and trending topics. So there it is. Roland, we ran out of time again. I almost had time for you, and then I didn't. So we'll try to see if we can get you on Wednesday, because that's the next show. For the rest of y'all, appreciate y'all. Be safe, man. Shoot me an email, too. I'm going to put this in. Let me get your email address. I'm going to put this in the chat. I should have had a graphic for this. But if you visit my website, there's a pop-up that I just added to the page to collect your email so you can get all my content directly so I can send it to you. You don't even have to come looking for me. KingLamont.com is the website. Leave your email. That's another way so we can stay in contact. Leave your email. All right? Leave your email. And then you get all the stuff direct. All right, beyond that, if there's no more questions, comments, or concerns, man, I'll see y'all next time. Y'all be safe. Don't do nothing stupid, man. You know, stay out the way.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad official.